Good evening, you guys. I'm gonna bring you guys a review of Ready to Love Miami. Basically, this season is to the point where we are in Miami. Everybody to the point they're dealing with basically a rundown. They're doing the mixer like they always do. What I'm getting from this episode is that a lot of people are to the point where they are here ready. They're ready and want to be, in love. They're ready to love. Hence the words of the show. The main one that stuck out to me is Trinika. Trinika is to the point where she basically is letting these guys know what it is, and most important, she's letting them know how she feels, and she's also letting them know that she is a single mom out the gate, which I think is really, really great, considering that she is trying to find love. So therefore, she's letting them know that she is really serious about finding somebody, and she doesn't want to play any type of games. Tommy to the point he allows the people to know that in the beginning they would be to the point they would do the mixer, but two people would be going home. Hence the word meaning that he would be one female and one male. I personally like the fact that he gives a twist and actually is having the actual mixer and the actual show is centered in Miami. Last season was giving and but it was to the point it was a little hush in my mind. The reason why I say that is because everybody was to the point they really weren't focused on waiting for love. I think there's more so trying to get to the end, if that makes sense. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys are to the point you enjoying my reviews as much as I am bringing them to you guys. I hope you guys are to the point that you're following the channel. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the like button, and most importantly, leave me a comment. I hope you guys were able to check out the last actual review I did. I saw a lot of people to the point they asked though they did like it, they did hit the like button. I thank you guys for the continued support. And as I said again, if you're new here, hopefully you'll subscribe and come on and be a part of the family. But yeah, like I told you, Ready to Love is giving what it needs to give. It's not to the point that it was as exciting as last season, but I like the actual vibes, and most important, I like the actual scenery. They actually are at a actual looks like a hotel. They are to the point they are in the pool. Everybody's mixing, everybody's vibing. We basically like we always do when they first start out. We able to get a gist of everybody, what they're here for, occupations, that type of thing. In other words, they're trying to warm up to each other. I think this is actually the not the best part of the show, but I kind of like this part, this and the fact that they get to the point where they actually get to the meat and potatoes. But just bear with me and be along for the ride because I will be giving you guys a actual review of this every week. But I hope that you guys are to the point where you actually are, tuning in and you're enjoying the reviews. I also was to the point, like I told you guys, I would be going back to doing reactions, but I'm going to be focusing more now on the reviews. So I hope you guys can be bear with me and most importantly enjoy the content. But yeah, you guys, like I said, it is Ready to Love Miami. The spoiler that we actually saw, I really was really excited about it. You could tell that everybody was getting a gist of each other, and it seems like a lot of these people actually don't know each other, so that's a good thing. But somebody brought it to my attention that two of the gentlemen actually they think were on a previous show. I don't think it's to the point they was on a previous show. I think what happened is you're thinking that they actually are the same people, and they are not. I can tell you from experience that they're not because I've been watching ever since season one. Hence, we are where we are now. I think it's one of those things where Ready to Love Miami is going to be based on sex appeal. I think that's not a bad thing, but I think it could be a challenging thing because at the end of the day, it's okay to have sex appeal, but what happens after we peel the layers back? Calvin is to the point he actually has to actually leave. He has a family emergency. He lets the people know that his mom did call him, so he had to leave the show. And he said he did not want to do it, but he had to give his mom his undivided attention. He did not want to be to the point that he could not focus on the actual task at hand. So he bowed out and he basically, left the show. So Tommy came and told everybody what it was and gave a gist of it. Everybody's mixing and mingling around the pool. Everybody's giving the vibes that they're actually trying to mix and mingle. I am enjoying it. There's one gentleman that actually is giving me Rick Ross vibes, so he's really, really my favorite this particular season. Devin is to the point he's a director of sales. Devin is the guy that actually is the one that everybody wants to hate because he basically comes out the gate and tells everybody that he actually has a child and says in the same sentence that he really hadn't seen his child. My thing is, it's okay, to be to the point where you don't really see your kid or whatever, but it gives me vibes that you're not to the point that you're actually wanting the people to know you have a child. Sharice is actually an esthetician. She's 43. Sharice is to the point that she's really, really giving all, a lot of good vibes or whatever, but I don't think the guys are really feeling Sharice. They basically said that they feel like she's actually uptight. I don't personally think that that's what I see when I'm seeing her on the show. I think it's one of those things where she's really trying to get a feel for the room. She's really, really the out of all the women, she's really is asking him all these questions. That's what made him come out and say what he said about his child. I don't think it's one of those things where he really should be, you know, in other words, he should be ashamed of the fact that he's not in his child life, and that's Devin. Devin is director of sales, just like I told you, he's 32. I don't I think that if he looks back on this particular episode, he should be to the point that he should want to get in his child's life. He said the child is 10 years old, so that's an impressionable age. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting on here trying to find love, but at the end of the day, you need to try to, make sure that you're in your kid's life. Because me personally, I would not want to be with any man that does not have a relationship with his child. No, that's a no no. That's a deal breaker. But we're gonna see what this gives, and most importantly, how the women treat him after they know what it is about him. He basically embraces Sharice, and they actually have a moment. I guess one of those things where he really was able to get it off his chest. Also, we're to the point where we meet with Jamaica. Jamaica's to the point that she actually is very gorgeous. I like her skin tone, her melanin. I'm sorry, and basically gives our vibes that she's saying that she knows what she wants, and most importantly, she's already telling us who she wants. I'll tell you later who she actually to the point where she's actually feeling. Now, as far as the women are concerned, you can tell a lot of the women are to the point they know what they want. But I think it's one particular gentleman that the women definitely are not feeling, and he's to the point that he wants to be in control. I think it's one thing where he wants to feel the room out, but the women have already counted him out. If that makes sense. Tommy basically pulls the women to the side. He wants to know what's going on at the mixer. Everybody is to the point they have their men they decide they want to be with. Justice is the man that all the women are to the point they saying they collectively feeling, which is good. Justice pulls out, he gives out really, really great vibes. I like the fact that he was to the point that he was telling about how his mom and his grandmother were really, really constant in his life. His dad was not in his life, and he said he had such a great childhood that he really, really didn't stress about it, which was a great thing. Tommy has a major sit down with the women. The women give him a lot of feedback, and you can tell that Tommy is really, really feeling that. He likes the fact they actually have did their homework, as he says, which is a good thing when it comes to this particular show here because you can't be blindsided by looks. You have to really, really peel back the layers and see what type of man you're dealing with. Samson is the man that the women are actually feeling as well. Samson has really, really looked over the room. He's to the point he is retired, and that's what a lot of women are feeling about him. They like about him. I personally like Samson. His vibe shows me that he's a grown man and he's ready to settle down. Now, I hope he's not just lying for the camera and he's not to the point he's got me thinking it ain't what it is. But Teresa says that she doesn't want the women to get rid of the man in the mirror. I call him the man in the mirror because he's giving off vibes that he's, not ready to love, and that's Mike. Mike wants to play, he wants to be the man in charge, and he wants the women to really think that he's a player. He's going to end up be to the point where he is called up and is ready for elimination. Uh, as far as the women are concerned, Samson is the man, just like I told y'all, Samson and Justin. That's the man that all the women collectively like, which is a good thing. I personally think that those are two great picks. Those are not the best picks, but those are two great picks, meaning like if you're trying to look for a potential husband. I personally like the fact that these women are actually using their heads and they're actually trying to get to know these men. It's not about the physical. So that's a really good thing on this particular episode. At first, I was to the point I was a little skeptical about this episode. I was like, maybe it's gonna be a little dry, but no, it's actually giving. It's not really, really to the point that everybody is here for one agenda, and that is to be on TV. Most times, seasons I have seen that, I noticed that, and I pull that to the side. Now, once the mixer is over, he pulls them to the side. Everybody gets up. Everybody has that final laugh. You know how Tommy does. He basically tells the women that it's time to bring that potential man on the chopping block. Now, the first person that they actually bring to the carpet, and as Tommy says, that journey ends now. First guy that he calls is actually Swayze. Swayze, it was to the point that he talked himself into that carpet. Swayze is a firefighter. Those women were not feeling Swayze. They was it was all across the board zeros. Also, they to the point that they were ready to get rid of Samson. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys, I'm not gonna hold you long, let you know that Swayze was to the point he actually was saved. I don't know what he did to actually get himself saved, but I don't think he's gonna be saved too long. Because at the end of the day, Swayze is to the point that he is not ready to love. He is basically there for the camera time. You can see it. It is what it is. Basically, the woman that he actually was trying to get with was Jamila. Jamila was basically she already basically told him that he was not her type. She cut him off. She basically told him what it was, and I kind of felt bad for him. But then again, I didn't because she feels as though that's not her type, and she's letting him know what it is, and I can respect that at the end of the day. But yes, you guys, Swayze is called to the point that he's called to the carpet, but he's saved. Then they also get to the end where they actually have the two women. Sharice is actually one of the women that's called to the carpet. Sharice is actually safe. Tommy decides that he wants to let all both of the women be safe. He's not going to eliminate any one of either one of them. They basically say in the confessional that they will be bringing it when it comes to the next episode because they're going to show the men who they are and they're going to embrace the fact that they actually got a new shot. I think that was a really really great twist because at first I thought he was actually going to get rid of one of the women and I thought really it was going to be Sharice because Sharice was giving them vibes that they really weren't feeling. Everybody had basically found out who they wanted to be with and got booed up. And as they say, I personally like the vibe of the flight attendant. She's to the point that she likes, she's the type of woman seem like to me like she knows what she like and she's able, flirt and most importantly, like she told them, she don't have no problem with traveling. She don't let her job stop her from finding love. And I feel like that was a great thing to say. Because at the end of the day, she is 35. She's actually not to the point that she needs to do a lot of wasting of her time. If that makes sense. I personally like the other guy. We're gonna say him for last, but he basically, like I told you, he gave Rick Ross vibes. All the women are not to the point they're feeling him, but he has one particular lady that actually is hooked on him, and she is not letting him go. But I think the people that they actually got rid of, and I'm gonna say him for the very last. He personally didn't deserve to go, but it was just the fact that the women were not feeling him. He didn't make himself a constant. He also said to himself that he got a chance to meet some of them, but he didn't actually meet. In other words, get himself around and mix and mingle like he should have. That's the main thing that'll get you eliminated in this particular mixer, because you got to do just what the word say. You got to get around. You got to let everybody know who you are, and you got to leave a positive impression. But Mr. Swayze, they was not feeling him. He was doing the most. Every time the women would ask him a question, he would be real, as they say, real childish, which they say word line. Now you would think with the type of profession that he has, a lot of women would flock to him. I kind of see now why he's actually single because he's not really ready to love. I think he's really there for that camera time. Every time when he speaks, I notice he look dead into the camera, and when they talk to him, he seems like he be a little spaced out. Then he'll come back with a little line in his mind, like that is actually supposed to be funny. I'm like, whatever, okay. But as far as this season is concerned, I'm hoping that these people genuinely find connections because I am to the point I love the end when they actually had a reunion. Everybody comes back and they let you know who they actually picked, and most importantly, whether or not they still dating. Uh, I want to make a prediction now, but it's a little too soon. But I'm gonna wait a minute. I got a real good prediction about who's actually gonna be your couple and who's not. But we're not gonna worry about that right now. We're gonna just vibe and maybe talk. But like I told you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying these reviews. A lot of people to the point they are feeling it and they actually are liking it. Tommy's to the point, like I told you, he brought Swayze here. Swayze looks like he's sweating bullets, and he's looking as though he's surprised that he was called to the carpet. He is safe. Swayze is safe this time. He gives out this little grin like he gonna get back over there and do it again. I hope he changes game plan. Kyle is the one that actually is eliminated. I hate that Kyle was eliminated. He seemed like a real genuine guy, but he just didn't have a time to work the room. It happens. But we're gonna see what goes on with him. Sean, I'm sorry, Sean. He's a real estate developer. He is 38. He's a gorgeous man, but it is what it is. Tommy tells him, Bism Badu. He said he got to go, unfortunately, back to dating in Miami. I'm saying to myself, it's not that's not a bad thing. It's a lot of different people that he's gonna meet in Miami. But I think he really probably had his heart set on dating somebody there or whatever. So it is what it is. Uh-huh. I really personally love the vibe that Tom is giving off this particular season. He's really, really playful, and I think he's enjoying Miami more than they are. Everybody gets to the point they go back to the mixer and they actually talk and they mingle. Jamila to the point she's actually talking to Swayze. I think she's really, really feeling him, which is really shocking. She didn't really say much when Tommy asked about him, so it is what it is. Samson is to the point he's already picked his lady. Samson is really, really growing on me. I like his vibe. He seems real confident. Samson is a life coach. He's 48 years old. He basically is telling you he liked this lady, and he basically is telling her how pretty her teeth are and her braids. He's just so giggly. You would think that they really had met before because the vibes are there, and actually you can tell the chemistry is there. I really like them as a thing. I'm hoping they will be a couple. We'll see. He basically said he wants a woman that embodies everything that his mom embodied as a woman. He said the mom was a strong black woman, and most important, she raised him to be a very strong black man. He wants that in the form of a wife, which I think is really, really great for him to say that. Samson is really growing on me. I like him. You can tell him he's a grown man. He knows what he wants, and he's not there to play games. But yeah, it is what it is. I personally am enjoying this season because I was anticipating it because of last season we had this one couple that basically he's wanting to be with Looney, who's a realtor. She's actually 36 years old. So it's to the point that Looney is his pick right now, and we're gonna see it down the road whether or not Looney will still be his pick. He basically says that he likes her middle. He wants to know her middle name. She said if he know her middle name, then most importantly, he's gonna be the one. I thought that was cute. Yeah, she says she liked the fact that he's putting in the effort, and most important that he's putting her on the radar, and he hadn't really spoken to anybody else. So that's a good thing. They give me Clifton and Joy vibes from last season, meaning that Clifton and Joy knew from day one they wanted to be together. So yeah, that's a good thing on here. Jamila, I like Jamila. Jamila knows what she wants. Most important, Jamila is not afraid to tell these men how she really feels, and I like that. She's a corporate health consultant. Don't ask me what that is. I don't know. But Jamila is really working the room. Randall has really taken a back to her. He's a personal trainer. He says that he really likes her vibe. He also said he's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Every time he gets around, he get giggly. I thought it was really cute. She's embracing him by holding his hand. She told him that her love language is touch. So I thought that was really cute. Now this other young lady here, she's giving me vibes from last 2 seasons ago. I had to look at her again and make sure she wasn't the lady that was on there last time. But that's not her. But yeah, Mr. Miller is working the room, honey. But yeah, you guys, hope you guys are enjoying this review. A lot of people don't watch Ready to Love, so therefore I make sure that if I can, I bring you a review. And I want to be to the point that when you're done with the review, you felt like you actually watched the show. If you're to the point you don't like my reviews, I don't mind giving you give me a comment in there as well. I appreciate that. Negative comments are just as good as positive comments. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with me on this particular journey. I see a lot of people have subscribed. I appreciate you for doing that. And also, when you get to the point where you're on this, make sure you leave me a thumbs up and also leave me a comment and let me know how you felt about the actual review. But yeah, like these ladies, they are doing the most. Miss Kayla is a contender as well. She's a media executive. Kayla really hasn't really said who she really wants to be with. She's basically just working the room, which is not a bad strategy. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. A lot of women do that. It's not a bad thing, but I wouldn't personally. If I was on that journey, I wouldn't do that. I would actually work the room, see what it is, and then maybe get to the point where I figure out who I'm going to be with, because they got plenty of time. Sabi's not to the point where he's ready to find out who they actually exclusively going to be dating. But like I told you, Swayze is the guy that women do not want to be with. I think he's actually gonna be on the chopping block more than one time, and he's gonna keep getting cocky, and that's what's gonna get him eliminated eventually. Like I said, they saved him this time, but I don't think they're gonna save his butt too many times. But yeah, you guys, I want to just get on here and give you guys a brief little review of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys checked out my last review I did of The Shy. I enjoyed bringing you guys that because that is my favorite show right now. I watch that faithfully. I also will be bringing you guys a review. Look out for that Sunday of P Valley. I don't know if a lot of people watch that, but I watch that faithfully as well. I'm gonna give you a review of P Valley. It won't be Sunday. I'm sorry to correct myself. It will be Monday. I will give it to you Monday evening after I get off work. I'm gonna have that review for you guys. But yeah, you guys, I'll have to go ahead and end this particular live. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I have, and I am to the point where I will be giving you more reviews on it. And see you guys on the next one. Bye.